What's up, it's Brandon from Tattooing 101, and I wanted to go over a subject that was really hard for me to understand when I was learning how to tattoo, and that is the size of your tattoos matter. So meaning whenever you're drawing up a design, the size that you're making it for the placement of the body is really important, because through time, your tattoos are going to expand underneath the skin and cause little areas to become a black blob. There's no way to change this, because as the body naturally progresses the tattoo, it expands underneath the skin and creates a blurry outline then 5-10 years down the line. So I'm going to show you on Procreate exactly what I mean whenever I say your tattoos will get blurry. So here I have a client's arm and a tattoo I threw together with some stamps to be able to show you exactly what I mean. So you can see here, there's a very small rose, a snake, and a dagger. So there's a couple of areas in here that would cause a lot of issues with healing. So as you could see right here, there's a lot of super tiny areas right in here. That's going to be a really big issue when it comes to the healing process. Also areas to where there's not a lot of space, like right here, and all of these markings on the snake, especially down here, you can see that they're so tiny that if you try to put these little markings in this design, it's going to eventually just become a black blob in these areas. So now I'm going to put a couple layers over this to show you exactly what I mean. So I have quite a few layers that you could see. After 5 years, this is what it would look like. After about 10 years, we add some more layers, and you can see that all the lines are really fuzzy. This is exactly the same in a tattoo. So all these areas to where you had really nice skin breaks eventually completely disappear and just muddy up the design completely. You add this with some shading and some color, and it's going to be really, really hard to understand where everything is. So especially with these thick lines around this traditional dagger, you could see that it is expanded a ton. It's really nice and clean in this, but throughout time, it becomes muddied up and not clear at all. So these areas are going to be the issues that you have through healing. So in 10 years, what would this tattoo look like? I have a layer set up of exactly what it would look like in 5 to 10 years. So you can see here that everything is blended together. All these areas to where there was skin breaks are completely gone, and everything has this really fuzzy edge to it. This is exactly the same with a tattoo. So all these really nice shading marks in the snake, all of the thin lines in the snake completely disappear and become a mess. This is why it's so important to pick designs that will work in small areas. Whenever I was first tattooing, I would see this tattoo and believe that I was able to do it. You know, using a 3-round liner, I'd be able to get clean lines and be able to tattoo this effectively. But then after 5 to 10 years, the clients would come in and I would see the tattoos that I did, and they would end up looking like this. So I didn't understand the natural process of healing and what time does to a tattoo. So all these really nice, delicate tattoos may look good when you're first doing them, but through time, they become something that isn't necessarily something that they wanted to begin with. So understanding this natural process is going to help your tattoos out a lot, because especially with this snake, you know, it started out as nice shading and, you know, really delicate tattoo, and it just turned into a black blob. So what do you do to change this? The biggest things will be picking elements that actually work. You know, the snake is just going to be too small to be able to do it effectively. The rose is going to be too small. But if you look at the dagger does expand in size a little bit. But if you did this with a smaller liner like a 7 compared to a 9, it would heal and be okay. It would hold up really nice through time, even if it does expand. So the little areas are the problem. So let's say you made this rose a little bit bigger, or made it to the side along with the dagger and just got rid of the snake. That's one option. If they absolutely wanted the snake, the rose, and the dagger, this is what they want completely, the other option you have is to go bigger. So for a tattoo like this, with all the details in it, the size that I would do this tattoo is about like this. You can see on the arm, it wraps around the arm nicely. You're able to do this in an effective way using a 7-round liner for the rose, a non-round liner for the dagger, and then going in with some 3-round liners and the details of the snake. And this would heal up fine through time. There's enough area for the ink to expand without it completely coming together and mudding up everything. So for this design, obviously they have a tattoo down here, which would cause an issue, but you would be able to move it around, naturally go around this tattoo and make it the size needed to be able to make it a good tattoo and have it hold up through time. So the biggest takeaways whenever you're drawing for any person, and if they have a design that they want really, really small, let's say they wanted something on the wrist right here, coming up with a design that will work for this area and be able to expand and heal naturally through time without it turning into a black blob is going to be a game changer with your career as a tattoo artist. So any areas to where you have little skin breaks, like right here, any areas to where lines are too close together, and also black shading where it's really close together. These are all things whenever you're going super small to avoid. So this is one of the biggest problems I had when I was first starting out, is just understanding what tattoos look like. So if you were wanting to try to figure out exactly how your tattoos are going to look, all you have to do is copy this layer, paste it about 20 times. When you paste it over top and put them all together, it will show you what the tattoo is going to look like a couple years down the line. This will help you completely understand how to draw your tattoos, and if you were to move these and make them bigger and use a smaller liner, you'll be able to clearly see everything where it needs to be and still be able to tattoo this effectively and make a great tattoo 5, 10, and even 20 years in the future. I know this could be hard to understand, especially if you're first getting into tattooing. So that's why using the iPad as a tool to understand exactly how your tattoos are going to look through time is going to be a game changer. Because when I was going through my apprenticeship and understanding how to tattoo when I first started, there wasn't anything like this. So I had to naturally just figure out what tattoos look like in 10 years. And at that point, I've already been tattooing for 10 years and didn't understand. So that was 10 years of mistakes I had trying to do tattoos too small because that's what the client wanted. So understanding how to communicate with your client, even be able to show you on iPad, look, this is how tattoos heal. No matter what, this is a natural process of how a body works with tattoos. There's no way to change that. So this is what your tattoo is going to look like. Now, there are a few things to where we could change around and make it better for you, because you don't want your tattoo to look good only for today or next year. You want it to look good for the rest of your life. So these are the ways to make that happen. So understanding how to talk to your clients are going to be a game changer and help you get to the next level of your career. So that's how you avoid to make the mistakes that I did when I was first starting out going through my apprenticeship. In the comments down below, I'd love to know some of the stories about the smallest tattoos you've done. So I have portraits put on my fingers and they look great when they were first done. Now I can't even tell when they are. So leave me some comments down below so I could check out the smallest tattoos that you have done. And as always, I hope this was able to help you get some knowledge on something that isn't really talked about in the tattoo community, so you don't have to go through these mistakes. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.